Hello, my name's David Aynesworth, and this is my family's pub in the Yorkshire Dales. I like beer. In fact, I like it so much, I've decided to have a beer festival here at the pub. It'll be a celebration of Yorkshire's finest ales. This is my son Robert who's organising it. He's also going to drive me in the Brigadier, a 1930s Bentley, while I conduct serious research, seeking out and tasting the best real ales of our county.
Do you remember your first pint all those years ago?
Yeah, I do. And I must admit, I thought it was pretty dreadful, quite honestly, but I can remember my father saying that it's an acquired taste. And I think it's safe to say I've been trying to acquire that taste ever since with great enthusiasm. It's all right. We're off to Leeds. You know, I'm not an expert, I just appreciate good beer. And of course the passionate people who brew it. Once there would have been scores of breweries here, but now there are just 2. I mean, Tetley's is one of the great names in Yorkshire and has produced some tremendous beers over the years, but I can't help feeling that Joshua Tetley, who founded it, would probably turn in his grave if he could actually see it. I have a feeling that it's just become a factory. Oh. Anyway, we're not in Leeds to look at Tetley's Brewery, because there's a new whippersnapper on the block, snapping at the heels, and it's only a mile away. Just a year old, Leeds Brewery is taking on the grown-ups. Hello, looking for Sam. You Sam?
I am, yes.
Managing Director?
I am, yes. Nice to meet you.
You're far too young.
Well, thanks very much.
It's brilliant. The whole team is energetic and extremely successful, and still in short pants.
I'm 22.
23.
I'm 24.
25.
I'm 25 years old.
I'm not saying. Absolutely no way.
In the last 12 months, they've won loads of big awards and are now selling 18,000 pints.
Do you want to follow me?
A week. What interests me is the fact that it's such a young team, and normally the ale market tends to have an image of the older person.
We've tried to create a contemporary twist on what, as you rightly say, has traditionally been, you know, a very sort of, you know, a very traditional product.
These youngsters have really got their heads screwed on. It may be modern, but they've an ingenious way of making their beer taste traditional.
There's something called the National Collection of Yeast Cultures, and so we went to them and asked them to find us a strain of yeast that was previously used by another West Yorkshire brewer that's now defunct. And so we brought it out of retirement, we've recultured it, and we're now using it. Of course you can.
It's fantastic stuff. Yeast is the magic ingredient that not only turns malty, sugary water into alcohol, but it regenerates itself.
At the end of the fermentation period, we'll climb to the top of the vessels, we'll skim the yeast off the top of the liquid. The science behind it is, as the yeast feeds on the sugars, the cells split and split and split again. So in theory, we should be able to get sort of 3 or 4 times the amount of yeast off the top of the beer at the end as we put in at the beginning.
I must introduce you to my mate Venkatesh. Fresh out of university, he has the most important job in the company. You are possibly the youngest head brewer in the world.
Right.
You've got all the qualifications. Yeah, could be. At the big breweries, head brewers are known as God and have decades of experience.
It was quite a struggle to get a job once you finish up your master's, and me without having any experience or anything, it was very difficult for me to get a job.
I mean, you wouldn't have stood a chance, would you, if you hadn't got in with a young team?
It's a brilliant thing because we started everything from scratch. Like, I was involved right from the first brew that we ever did in this brewery, and I'm still here.
Brilliant. A real ale is beer that has yeast still alive and fermenting in the cask. I bet you didn't want one there, did you? The brewing process carries on in the pub's cellar. Well. Oh. And for me, that's what makes it stand out from those mass-produced dead beers and lagers. Whoops! Sorry. Is it possible just to taste a bit of this now?
Yes, it certainly is. I will just grab a... I'll have to grab a jug, hang on.
Do you think poor Sam regrets letting this thirsty geriatric loose in his brewery? I mean, this is the most important bit, is tasting it, isn't it? Even though this isn't the beer that it will be. I mean, I do like a drop every now and again.
This is Leeds Best.
Leeds Best.
Straight out of the conditioning tank. And what you should get really is a beer that's a little bit rough around the edges. It won't have had the conditioning time It won't have obviously been into a cask, into a cellar.
It tastes raw at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The maturity will come. They're not daft, this lot. For any brewery to be successful, they need their beer on the bar.
It was completely derelict when we took it over. It's a Grade 2 listed building.
Well, come on, it's blimey. They've opened their own pub as well.
Yeah, a little bit different. We've tried to sort of give a contemporary edge to what we're doing. Again, hopefully reflecting the the beers themselves.
Right, I'm desperate for a pint. Let's see what it's like. No, this is the one that we sampled straight out of the conditioning
this
tank,
is
isn't
Leeds
it?
Best. It's 4.3%. It's our traditional Yorkshire bitter.
What strikes me is it's gone much smoother. That sort of raw edge has gone off it, and it's a very nice pint.
Yeah, hopefully the traditional creamy Yorkshire head on the top of it.
We talked about how us Northerners like our creamy head last time, but it's not just the way the beer is made, but how the barman pulls the pint.
Well, this is the sparkler that you'll find on the end of most, if not all, northern pumps. It just has a series of little holes in the bottom of it and create the thick, creamy head that you'll find on a proper Yorkshire pint.
Yeah.
And if you have a look at the difference, straight out of the cask, no head at all, and that's what you would generally call a southern pint.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a taste of that,
It's lost that creaminess.
absolutely. So you get a little
Which
more.
isn't just the head either. It's the actual
Absolutely,
body of the drink.
in the body of the beer. So you get a little more of that harsh hoppiness, almost is a completely different beer.
It is. Get that sparkler back on
Absolutely.
fast. After a bit more research, I've ruined it, haven't I? I've decided these whippersnappers must definitely be at my beer festival. You're on. Cheers. Cracking beers for the festival. And they were all young enough to be my grandchildren. Right, Robert, because not everybody appreciates proper beers, it's time for some education. Have you ever heard of IPA? India Pale Ale. It's a light, clear beer brewed to last the journey over the seas to the far continent 200 years ago. Pale ales are becoming very fashionable again. But what's that got to do with my local village show? Well, welcome to Burnsall Sports. And this afternoon we're going to have a beer tasting extravaganza, and hopefully this will be the way to do it. I don't think I've missed one for 40 years. The most amazing thing about it is the fell race. They run up that great big hill and down again in just 13 minutes. It's an amazing race. The oldest one in the country, and to win at Burnsall is really quite something. Right, what we're trying to do here is convert lager drinkers to drink a real beer. I mean, the lager people really don't know what they're drinking. It's such a bland sort of drink. It's always the same. There's no depth to it, no little nuances that you get with real ales. And we've just gone to our nearest brewery. Oh my God, here we go. There's going to be a delay, I'm afraid. It would happen, wouldn't it? It's my chance to get amongst the crowd looking for die-hard lager drinkers. Can they be parted from the weasel pea? Have we got any lager drinkers here? And will they like my alternative? You know, I spotted this couple walking around with these glasses. It was quite obviously a lager. It looked like a San Miguel. What is it?
It's San Miguel's.
What we've got here is a real ale. And compared to that is a dead thing. It's just a factory-produced drink. And this is a light real ale, which is in direct competition to that. It's only produced about 4 miles down the road.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You gonna do it? Can you feel the flavours coming through?
Oh yeah, very nice.
Yeah. But that is a living thing, you know, compared to your lager, that is a living thing.
It was a lot smoother than San Miguel, really pleasant to drink, less fizzy. I might try a few more.
Especially for free.
Now these athletes look as though they really need saving. Right, come on. Can I rehydrate them with ale, not lager? Well, what we've got here is a real ale, just made 3 or 4 miles down the road. And it's lager-like, but it is a real beer.
Downing one.
There we are.
That's very nice.
There's a lot more work goes into producing that than lager.
Easy to drink.
And who won the race?
Maggie won it.
Second.
I thought you'd won.
I dropped my potato.
Hello there.
This is a great connoisseur of this.
You can't get more local than this.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
A 100% success rate with the lager drinkers. But what about a dear old mate of mine who only drinks whiskey? I just wondered whether you'd try one of these and see what you thought.
Anything for you, David.
Good man.
Well, it has a head on it, David.
It certainly has a head on it.
Ken Campbell, brought to the greasy pole.
Ken's needed to marshal a race, so we need a quick yay or nay, or I'm in trouble.
Not bad, that, is it? You say I'm a whiskey drinker.
Yeah. I'm going to have one now.
Ken, put your hand up if you've heard me.
We're starting the juniors in a minute.
Look at this. I'll look posh in this, won't I? With a pint in my hand.
It's official. Real ale is better than lager and whiskey. Job done.
Look at the junior fell race.
Ken, I can see you over there. Can you hear me?
Good. He says he doesn't drink beer, but look, it's completely empty. Come on, kid, for God's sake. Join me in a moment when I head to the capital of Yorkshire and then meet a woman with a passion in her shed.